Okay, Todd, I'll throw this one in the beginning of the video. I forgot to show you the receive on the radio, so here it is. I'll try to put this in the beginning of the video. But that's why I was trying to show you in the video that you can make it sound really bassy if you want it. Let me put it back on that speaker. Okay, so now we're on this speaker. And you have that, it's like a RX equalizer here. There's the high cutoff. See how more high pitched and hissy that is? So you can turn that down there too, and then high cut it. And it sounds a little more deep and bassy. Obviously this isn't a super high quality speaker. If you had like a 6x9 or something, it would sound really good. Like an audio quality speaker. This is just a cheap speaker they put in this. These are more decorative. I mean, I like it, but you know, it's more of a decorative piece than have a really high quality speaker in it. There's not a lot going on today on the band. It's been pretty crappy, although I did talk to a customer of mine today in Honolulu, Hawaii, and that was awesome. On 36 lower sideband. He was on the DX5000 Plus and the KPO mic, so that was awesome. Yeah, there ain't much going on. It's like there's skip, but it's not booming in like it normally is. It's real sporadic. So let's go back to the NOAA weather. There's that. See, on a real antenna, it works a heck of a lot better. And this is just a make old balcony antenna is what it is up there, horizontally polarized off the side of the tower. So picks up really good though. Alright, Todd, well, again, hope you enjoy it. I'll play the rest of the video right after this little small clip. 73. Alright, Todd, thanks for the order on this new 655 HPC Plus. So there it is for you. I got the NOAA weather band on right now. This is the local one. It's not a real antenna that I'm actually picking up on. It's just a piece of coax that I have the back of the coax disconnected on the back of the radio, so we're really only getting signal off the braid, or I'm sorry, off the center of the coax. But it's picking up the NOAA weather good. So watch when I screw it in though, it'll go away. That's normal. Actually, it's still kind of going, so it just got more staticky. So this has the NOAA weather. If you get the software for this radio from Stryker off their website, you can program in some other frequencies, I believe. Let me check that. I know you can do that on the 955 Plus. I'm not sure about this one. Yeah, you can. It has a option to give you up to 40 memories. So this would go up to 40, and you can program in other frequencies that you might want to listen to. Does this radio have a VFO option? That's something I think it does. Maybe it doesn't. That one that said gate, you're going to want to always leave that on. Yeah, VFO. Okay. So now you have the option to have a VFO also on this band, on this WX. So now you can dial anywhere from 136 to 174 in megahertz and listen. So you can either program it with the software or you can just run it in VFO. So if you want to change some of the step sizes and stuff, I think what you have to do is go back into function, and then we can go channel selector. So you can go up to like a megahertz. Sorry about the squeaky in the background. My dog's got a squeaky toy and it's just what he does. So there's 1 megahertz increments. This is the 2-meter amateur radio band right here. I think this is the MERS band up here somewhere in there. So if you wanted to go smaller increments, you can do this. You can go 100K, and then now you can go in the hundreds. So it's kind of like a scanner in that sense. Obviously, if you're going to use like a 10-meter antenna or like a 27 megahertz, 26 megahertz antenna, you're only going to hear what you're going to hear because you're way out of the frequency range of like these frequencies, but it does work. So you do have the VFO mode on the radio also here. And what you would do there, you don't have to run it like this, but I'm just going to show you. We would probably want that in 10K right there. And then does it have the option here for that's all we really have, so we can go in 10K here. So you could run it like this too. You know, it's just going to go 10K all the way through, so you don't have to use the band option. If you wanted to go in 5 increment steps, you could change that, or you can just simply not run the VFO mode. I'm just showing you to show it because this radio does have it. So we can just go back in the menu and shut that off. It's in here somewhere. Leave that gate function on all the time though, that's important. The weather alert is not on. If you want it on, you can turn it on. Okay, now the VFO option is off. So now you have this band selector, and you can select bands based on where you want to go. The radio will go down to all the way down to here and all the way up to there. So in this situation, we don't get 10 meter. To get 10 meter, we need to use the VFO option. Actually, I correct myself there. You can go here, and now you can go there. I'm sorry, my wife is sneezing. And now the band selector, this E becomes J, and so on and so forth. So now we get the higher frequencies too. So that's how that works. So now the lowest frequency is somewhere like there, and then the highest frequency is here. So you can cover all the 10 meter stuff in AM and FM on this radio only. So you could do repeaters and stuff like that on 10 meter if you wanted to. So to switch that back, we just do this, and now that should switch automatically. It did. The 27 megahertz to listen, of course. Obviously we're on a dummy load here, so we're not transmitting out of the band. This is too high of a power radio, as we should all know, for transmission on these frequencies, but we can listen, and I think that's what most guys do, is they listen. You know, if you're a licensed operator, you can transmit there in an emergency. No, if you ran out of gas or something, that's not really the kind of emergency that we're talking about. That's an interesting one. You guys that are interested in that, look that up and see what the FCC would classify as an emergency to transmit on any radio frequency given the circumstance, you know, because they're kind of picky about that. Not that I'm like a purist about follow the rules, but, you know, don't get yourself in trouble either. That's all I can say there. So that's enough about that. I just wasted about 6.5 minutes, but I just wanted to see what the radio was capable of doing with the VFO and stuff. So this is your RX. Actually, you can go 5K up and down here. So this is your RX tone. If you turn this up, it'll get more high pitched. I like it right in the middle, about 3K. The TX tone is in here. That's like an equalizer for your transmission. If you want to sound more bassy, we already went by it right there. Turn it down to 2 to sound more bassy. Normal, I say, is 3, and then more high-pitched trebly is 4. So I'll leave it in 3 for you. So I'm gonna do the alignment. I guess some guys might call it a tune-up or whatever, and I'll come back and show what the radio's doing after. And it'll be here on the dummy load. Okay, there's the transmit frequency on this, so it's really good. Look over here, take another peek at it here. This is at really low power here. You can span in a little bit and see right where it should be. So I set your FM power to 50 and your low power to 1. And now we're going to look at the FM deviation level and adjust that accordingly. That's your modulation for FM. So let's bring that setting in. Let's see, so we're at about 3.1, which is, it's not bad. I want to get a little bit more out of it though, so I think this one's kind of like the 955. It goes up to about 3.9 and then it shuts off. Yeah, so we'll go about 3.9 is where we want it to be, so that's good. Now we're going to do our AM power. So I'm going to set this radio to 16 watts on high power AM. Let's see, right now it's a little high. 16 watts. It's close enough. And then low power, I'm going to turn it down to 1, which you can see there. And then modulation. We will modulate this thing. Let me set this tone up. And switch this to AM modulation. Okay, now we'll send the tone. It's real low modulation right now because we got barely any power. Whoop. So now, or barely any audio, so now we got quite a bit of audio. You want to make sure that you can see the flat top even here. This is the carrier, the flat top. So, you know, you don't want that. That should be pretty good there. We'll get it on the oscilloscope here in a second. I don't really need to use it, but some guys like to see it, whatever. That's the carrier, geez. And then there's the rest of it there. So that looks pretty good. And now we'll go to the high power. All right, let's see. That's about 16 watts. This is about 88%. There's 98%. 100 is too much. So 98% or so. Let's see if we can go like. It's probably about the max we can go right there, which is fine. That's how it looks with the 1 kilohertz tone. So it's perfect. You see that power spread? Power is within that. It's about 6 kilohertz wide, which is perfect. I mean, and when you modulate, it'll get a little bit more, but that's about what it should be. And then there's our scope. You can see that center is really nice, and everything else looks really nice. So that's pretty much it for these. They're super easy because it doesn't have sideband, so we don't really have to worry about a whole lot more with it. So I'm going to run a static 636 with this for the test. So let me plug that in. Just because it's the 4-pin mic that I have up here at the moment. And all the normal stuff on here, 10K, all that stuff. Noise blanker plus. Probably I would run it like that all the time. That's noise blanker and ANO. High cut is nice if you don't want that hiss. You can also RX tone it down and get even, you can get even more of that hiss out with that. So if you like a little more bassy sound, say you got a nice speaker or something you want to listen to it on, still haven't moved this speaker. It shows what I do with my own stuff. It's just been sitting here on that video I did last week, but It's not really in the way. So, all right, let's see what this thing's going to do with our 636. We'll turn our mic gain all the way up. RF power's all the way up. Talkback's off. And we're looking at a 100-watt scale here with PEP. So there's a 100-watt scale with PEP right there on that Bird 43P. So it pretty much puts it in the corner. This is in RMS. So 16 watts, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, check, check, going up to 30 something right there. And then PEP with this one, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, check, 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 1, 2, 1, 2, about 100 watts there too. So that's pretty much what they do. I mean, they do good for an AM, FM, talking little radio. I'll put this to about 12 o'clock. Which is about 5 watts, and you can still see even at 5 watts it's really, really good. And this is why I really like this chassis of radio here, because you get a lot out of these radios on AM, and that's primarily, I think, well, probably 90% of the guys would use. So again, you know, it's a little more aggressive with voice, but not by much, because as you can see, a lot of that stuff is very much at the 0 dBm line, or just very, very small amount that goes over it. So, but we do have some pretty aggressive modulation in the passband here, where the AM modulation, where the filter is allowing our power to go through. Now, if you turn that audio up more, yeah, it's going to spread out more, and you're going to lose power on your channel and spread it to the other channels. I don't think anybody really wants that intentionally. So that's that at about 12 o'clock. If you need the carrier up, I would say turn it up, but for the most part, I mean, this radio at about 12 o'clock, it's going to do everything you probably want and then some. So, you know, but if you need to, you can just turn it up all the way. It's not going to hurt the radio. And you can see your carriers up a little bit more and whatnot. So pretty nice radio here. And you know, got all the other stuff on here, echo and stuff. So the echo on this, to turn that on, just for reference, I believe you have to go back into the menu for that. Is it in the menu? Or is it right on the front? I'm looking at the front. Let's see. It's got to be in the front. See, I don't have as much experience using this one. I use the 955 more if I was going to use one of these, but where the heck's the echo in this thing? Oh, it just turns on, I'm sorry. Right there. The 955, I think, has a dial for it, so there's the echo. There's a little bit of talk back. I don't know if it's going to squeal or not, so check, check, 1, 2. Let's plug that President speaker in. So we're listening on that speaker. Talk back, 1, 2, 3, 4, check, check. A little bit of echo, 1, 2. I did put a Roger beep in this. There's a special one I put in all the radios. I don't normally show that very often, but if you go there and hit that, then go to number 6. Oops, why did I do that? Okay. So that should be on now. Yeah, the little 2510 sounding beep. If you get a radio from me, any radio that has the customizable menus like this, usually the last option for like Roger beep on this one, it happens to be 6, will be that option. And then now that's on all the time. If you hate Roger beeps, you never want to mess with it again, I can understand it. Go here and just switch it off. And that's it. So talkback is on. This isn't a really good speaker, it seems like, for talkback. It didn't sound bad with radio, but I'm not a big fan of talkback anyways. Let's see how the talkback sounds coming through the radio speaker, if we can hear it. Check, check, 1, 2. Dog's barking. Check, check, 1, 2, 1, 2.
That sounds actually better through the radio speaker. Hello, radio 1212.
So there you have it. Anyways, it's ready to go and ready to come to its new home. I will try to get this out to you today if I can. And I know you selected priority, but UPS is coming today, so if I can get it out with them, I will. Otherwise, it's going to go up priority tomorrow. So thanks a lot, Todd. I hope you enjoy the radio, and maybe you learned something from the video, maybe not. 73.